After watching this quick video, you will be able to work with Excel confidently and explore additional functionalities on your own. Here is the breakdown of the video so you can save time and focus on what matters most. Let's get started. So let's first get familiar with the ribbon. This area of the Excel is called the ribbon. The ribbon has different tabs like File, Home, Review, Insert, Page Layout, and so on. Every tab has its own groups. For example, the Home tab has its group like Clipboard, Font, Alignment, Number, Styles, and other groups. And every group has its own options. For example, the Font group has its options like the font style, the font size, making the font bold, italic, and underline, and some other options. And this area of Excel is called the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet has three things: rows, columns, and cells. Rows can be seen in numbers. For example, this is row number 1, row 2, row 3, and so on. And columns can be seen in alphabetics like column A, column B, column C, and so on. And these are called cells. Every cell has its own address. For example, this is the cell that has address E4, and you can see that address here. When I will select this cell, then you can see the address of this cell is D5 because it is in D column and row number 5, so the address is D5. We can insert many spreadsheets inside one Excel file. This is the sheet number 1. To insert the another sheet, we just have to click here on this plus sign. So this is the sheet number 2. We can also rename these sheets. We just have to double click here and rename them. Now let's type some material inside the cell. For example, when I will type here text and I will type here number. Now you can see that the text is residing on the left side and the numbers are residing on the right side. This is because the Excel is recognizing that this is the text and these are some numbers. We can also tell Excel that this is not a text but a number. For this, we have to come here in Home tab and in Number group. Inside Number group, we can see here a drop-down list. We have selected the cell Hello. Here you can see we can specify this text as a number. So we'll click here. Now this text, not a text but a number. Sometimes we work with ID numbers, and ID numbers can be something like this: CB123. So you can see here that this cell consists with text and numbers. But this is a ID number, so we have to specify this as a number. For this, we have to come here in Home tab, in Number groups, and click here on this drop down list and click here on Number. Now this is not a text but this is a number because we have specified it. There are different other options. We can specify a number as a currency, accounting, short date, long date, and so on. If you want to find more number formats, then you have to click here and here you will find different other formats. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful features inside the Excel. We are going to talk about fill series. For example, I type here 1 and move my cursor here. When the pointer will be changed into plus sign, then I can click, hold, and drag it down. After this, I will click here and click here on fill series. Here you can see that the series have been filled automatically from 1 to 9. Similarly, when I type here Monday, move my cursor here. When the pointer will be changed into plus sign, then drag it down. So you can see the series have been filled from Monday to Thursday. Similarly, when I will type here January, drag it down, and here you can find the names of all the months. Now let's talk about formatting the cells. For example, I want to format these 3 cells in the row number 4. So for formatting, I have to select these cells and have to go here in Home tab, and here you can find the group with name font. First, I will change the font style. Here you can find different font styles. So you can choose any of the font style for your content. I will select this. Now I will increase the size of the font. I will make it bold, italic, and underline. I will change the background color to this and the text color to Now I will come here in alignment group and I will align the text at the center. I can also increase the size of these columns. I just have to come here when the pointer will change into this sign, then I can increase the size of these columns. So till now we have seen some important options. Now let's create a table and see some other options and also see that how we can apply these all options inside the table. So let's first create header of the table. So first we will type here serial number and then we will press tab key to move on the right side. Now we will type here name. Again we will press tab key to move on the right side. Now date of joining and salary. So to move on the right side we have to press tab key, and to move towards the bottom we have to press enter. Now here in serial numbers, first we will type here 1 and then we will use the fill series option. So we have 5 numbers or 5 serial numbers. Now we'll type here names. We'll first type with the name and then we will press enter to move downward. Now let's increase the size of this column and here we will type date of joining. When we will click here, then you can see that Excel has recognized it as a date. But this date is in the American or US format. We can click here and go here in more number formats and we will click here on date. Now here you can see that this is in the United States format. You can select your own country from here. There are different countries. In United States format, you can see here in sample that this is the month, this is the day, and this is the year. We'll just click OK. If you want the dates in series, then you can click here and drag it down. So now you can see first month, 31 day 2025. This is the second month, first day, and 2025. Similarly, first, second, third, and fourth. Now here we will type the salary. Here you can see that we have not specified either these salaries are in rupees or in dollars. So for this we have to select all these salaries and have to come here, click on drop down list and click here on currency. So now these are in dollars. We can change this currency. We will click here and click here on more number formats, click here on currency, and then we can select the currency from here. So we have entered our raw data. Now let's create a table. To create a table, we can select the whole table and press Ctrl plus T from our keyboard. Now here in this dialog box, you have to check this option that my table has headers. Because our table has headers like serial number, name, date of joining, and salary are headers. So I have checked this and this is the range. So now I will just click OK. So you can see the table has been created. Now let's format the table. We will come here in Home tab. We will first click here on Center Alignment, increase the size of these columns, and we will click here on this table. Now you can see that a new tab has been introduced with name table design. We will click here and here you can find different table styles. And here in table style options group, you can find different options for the table. For example, either you want a header row or not. If you don't want a header row, you can uncheck this box and the header row will be disappeared. Again, appeared. If you don't want the filter buttons, then you can click here and the filter buttons will be disappeared. The filters are very useful. For example, I will click here and I want to see the salary. I want to see all the person that have the salary of 25,000. So I will just click here and click OK. Now you can see the name of the person is Will and the date of joining is this, and this is the salary. If I want to remove the filter, I will just click here and again select all and click OK. So in this way you can use this filter. Similarly, you can use this filter with dates. In dates you can see here months, days. So you can use these filters to find the specific information in the table. Now we have created the table and we want to add a row or a column in this table. So for this, for example, I want to insert a row between these 2 and 3 rows. So what I can do, I can move my cursor here, right click and click here on insert. Now you can see a row has been inserted between the row number 2 and row number 3. Now I can type information here. Similarly, we can insert a column in this table. We just have to come here. For example, I want to insert a column between column D and E. So I will just click here and click on insert. So you can see a column has been inserted. I can change the name of this column and then I can type IDs here. Now let's talk about the most important thing inside the Excel formulas. In this video, we will talk about some basic formulas. For example, I want the sum of all these salaries. So for this, I will use the sum formula. To start the formula, we have to type the equal sign first. So after equal sign, I will type here sum. You can find different sum formulas, but right now I want a simple sum formula. Now I will use round bracket and then I will select this range. After this range, I will just close the bracket, close the round bracket and press enter. So this is the sum of all these numbers. Now let's type here sum. So after just typing the formula of sum, we can see many things. I just have to click here on this drop down list. If we want to find the average of these numbers, I will just click here on this average. So this is the average of these numbers. I can find the maximum. This is the maximum salary. I can find the minimum. This is the minimum salary, and there are some other options or more functions. If you want to find the average manually, for example, I want to find the average of all these numbers here in this cell, then I will just type here equal average brackets. Now here I can select the range or I can put manually the range. So the range here is column number G and the row number 2. So G2 to G6. So what we will type here, we will just type here G2 to G6, close the bracket. You can see the range has been selected. We'll just press enter. So this is the average. So you can select the range by using your mouse cursor, or you can type the range manually by using the keyboard. So you have taken the first step toward mastering this powerful tool. Keep practicing and exploring. Stay tuned for more tutorials and tips to enhance your Excel skills. Thanks for watching. That's all for this video.